Okay, we're going to continue on in the Apocrypha. This is the second book of Esdras 6, verse 26. And they will see the men who were taken up, who from their birth have not tasted death. And the heart of the earth's inhabitants will be changed and converted to a different spirit. For evil will be destroyed and deceit will be abolished, but faith will flourish and corruption will be conquered. And truth, which has been without fruit so long, will be disclosed. And it came to pass when he talked with me that, behold, little by little the place where I stood was moved upon itself. And he said to me, I have come to show you these things and things to come this night. If therefore you will pray again and fast again for 7 days, I will again declare to you even greater things than these by day. For your voice has surely been heard before the Most High. For the Mighty One has seen your uprightness and has remarked your purity, which you have maintained from your youth. And because of this, he sent me to show you all these things and to say to you, believe and do not fear, and do not be in haste to engage in idle speculations over the former times, so that you may not have to hasten in the last times. And it came to pass after this that again I wept and I fasted 7 days as before, to complete the 3 weeks, as I had been told. And it came to pass on the 8th night that my heart was again troubled within me, and I began to speak before the Most High. For my spirit was greatly excited, and my soul was distressed. And I said, O Lord, at the beginning of the creation, you surely spoke and said on the first day, let heaven and earth be made, and your word perform the work. Then the Spirit was hovering, and the darkness and silence were all around. The sound of man's voice you had not yet heard. Then you ordered a ray of light to be brought out of your storehouses, so that your works might then appear. Again on the 2nd day you created the spirit of the firmament, and commanded it to divide and make a division between the waters, so that one might go up and one part remain below. On the 3rd day you commanded the waters to be gathered together in the 7th part of the earth. But 6 parts you dried up and kept them so that some of them might be planted and cultivated and served before you. For your word went forth, and the work was immediately done. For suddenly there came forth fruit in immeasurable abundance, and of a manifold appeal to the taste, and flowers of inimitable hues and colors, and odors of unfathomable fragrance. These were made on the 3rd day. But on the 4th day you commanded the brightness of the sun to come into being, the light of the moon, and the order of the stars. And you commanded them to serve man, who was still to be formed. But on the 5th day you ordered the 7th part, where the water was gathered to bring forth living things, birds and fish. And it was done. The mute, lifeless water producing living creatures, as it was commanded, so that nations might tell you wondrous works because of it. Then you preserved 2 living creatures. One you named Behemoth, and the other you named Leviathan. And you separated them from each other. For the 7th part, where the water was gathered together, could not hold both of them. And you gave Behemoth 1 part, which had dried up on the 3rd day to live in, which there were 1,000 mountains. But to Leviathan you gave a 7th part that it is moist, and you preserved them to be devoured by whomever you please and when you please. But on the 6th day you commanded the earth to create before you cattle and wild animals and reptiles, and over them Adam, whom you appointed leader over all the works that you had made, and from him we were descended, whom you have chosen to be your people. I have said all this before you, Lord, because you have said that it was for our sakes that you made this firstborn world. But as for the rest of the nations which are sprung from Adam, you have said that there are nothing and are like spittle, and you have compared their abundance to a drop in a bucket. And now, Lord, behold, these nations that are counted as nothing rule over us and devour us. But we, your people, whom you called your firstborn, only begotten, chosen and beloved, are delivered into their hands. If it was for our sakes that the world was created, why do we not possess the world as our inheritance? How long shall this be? And it came to pass, when I was finished saying these words, that the angel had sent to me, who had been sent to me on the former nights, and he said to me, Get up, Ezra, and hear the words which I have come to say to you. And I said, Speak, my Lord. And he said to me, Suppose the sea lies in a broad expanse, so that it is wide and vast, but the entrance to it is located in a narrow space, so that it is like a river. If anyone is determined to reach the sea, to see it or master, how can he be reached the broad water unless he passes through the narrows? Another illustration. Suppose a city is built and located on level ground, and is full of all good things. But the approach to it is narrow and precipitous, so that there is fire on the right hand and the deep water on the left, and there is only one path lying between them, that is, between the fire and the water, so that the path can support the steps of only one man. Now, if that city is given to a man as an inheritance, if the heir does not pass through the danger that lies before it, how can he receive his inheritance? And I said, True, sir. And he said to me, Israel's destiny is like that. For I made the world for their sakes, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, what has now happened was decreed, and the ways of entering this world were made narrow, grievous, and toilsome, and few and evil, full of dangers, and burdened with great hardships. But the approaches to the greater world are broad and safe, and produce the fruit of immortality. Unless, therefore, the living have really entered these narrow and fruitless experiences, they cannot obtain the things that are destined for them. But now, why are you disturbed, though you are to perish? And why are you so much moved, though you are mortal? And why do you not take into consideration what is future, but only what is present? And I answered and I said, Sovereign Lord, you have ordained in your law that the upright shall possess these things, but the ungodly shall perish. So the upright can endure straitened circumstances in the hope of ample ones, but those who have done wickedly endure the straitened circumstances and will not see the ample ones. And he said to me, You're not a better judge than God, or more intelligent than the Most High. For let the many that exist perish, rather than the law of God, which has been set before them, be discarded. For God strictly commanded those who came at their coming as to what they should do to live, and what they should do to observe to escape being punished. But they disobeyed and opposed him, and they devised foolish thoughts and conceived wicked wiles, and went so far as to say that the Most High did not exist. And they ignored his ways and scorned his law, and denied his agreements, and had no faith in his statutes, and did not complete his work. Therefore, Ezra, the empty have emptiness, the full, fullness. For behold, the time will come, and it will be that when the signs come which I have foretold you, the city that appears as a bride